Hi everyone, and welcome to this quick demo of using Claude with Voipstudio's MCP server. Now, in this demo, you'll notice that we're actually not going to use the Voipstudio interface at all. We're actually going to do everything in Claude, and that's because we've already connected the Voipstudio MCP into Claude, which takes about 30 seconds, and you can check that out in our docs. So here, I've already connected Voipstudio to Claude using the MCP, and I'm going to ask a really simple question just to get us started. So here, we're going to just ask to review calls this week and assess each user and agent for quality and quantity. So it's a fairly standard request. And here we can see we've had to just accept sharing that information with Claude the first time we do it. Once you do that, and if you click always allow, then that information always gets shared with Claude. The information is limited by your user access. So you basically get a key that the MCP server uses, and whatever user access scope that particular user has is the same for the key, and that key will define what exactly Claude can see. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through the statistics. So it's looking at CDRs, call data records. It's also looking at call recordings. And actually, the really good thing about this as well is because we have the CX Addon installed in this demo tenant in Voipstudio, we're actually able to save a lot in terms of time and tokens, because actually the transcription and the CX scoring happens in Voipstudio, and the transcripts get imported into Claude instead of Claude having to do all of the transcription from a raw audio file. As you can see here, as I've been talking, it's already started to, in fact, build a report. This is really quick. It's pulled all of the information together. It's got a dashboard. It's looking at things like average CX score. It's looking at call durations, number of calls made. This is very clearly a lot of demo data you'll see throughout this demo. There's a lot of standardization between the calls. We basically generated a lot of demo data rather than use real account information. So what we've got is, as well as a bunch of charts that Claude has put together, we've also got a quick narrative that explains what's really happened over that week in terms of quantity and quality, as I asked in the first place. So this is really good, and it just gives us that kind of view that it doesn't replace analytics. Obviously, the analytics platform that Voipstudio has got a lot of other information in it that's really useful and is presented in a really quick, intuitive way. But this is a way of actually getting into that data and manipulating it the way you want it. So here we've got an additional request I'm going to make. If I wanted to take that data and get Claude to advise me on what I could do to help my team improve and perform on calls even better, and give me 3 top tips of what I could improve. So again, here, this is very much based on demo data, but you can see even with that, it's actually given us some really good guidance on what we could improve. Start to look at average call duration. So it's found that longer duration calls actually perform better than shorter duration calls. So that's pointing towards perhaps getting into a little bit more detail, helping customers a little bit more. Varying the call topics helps train agents on different types of calls they might receive. And then actually debriefing the calls together as a team helps everyone to learn from each other, this kind of peer learning. So what I've then done is I've taken it a next step further. So I've got Claude to actually produce me a one-page guide that I can give to the team to help with coaching. So this is really important because, of course, it's one thing looking at analytics and writing your own report, which is very time consuming. So I already save a lot of time by using the Voipstudio CX add-on, which allows transcription and summarization to happen, and also getting that really important score out. So it saves me doing a lot of manual QA of audio call recordings. But here, I'm actually going to take it even that step further by getting it to produce a one-page guide I can give to the team to help with coaching them on calls. So this is where we start to go actually way beyond the limits of any analytics platform, really. We're starting to get into coaching and actually manipulating the stats and the data to suit exactly what you need for the business. So in the meantime, you probably saw it was producing a lot of data and just basically building the format for this report. And here we can see it's actually produced a one-page document, a call performance coaching guide. And here we can see a quick reference guide, some key points of what could be improved. So I could take that away. I could send it out by email, print it, really do whatever I want to do with it. I could get it to turn it into a slide if I wanted to. But then we can take it a next step and say, actually, I've got a particular concern about one of the team. I'd like you to give me some information about this particular agent. In this case, it's Lily. And I'd like to get a 3-bullet point list of actions that Lily can take to improve her performance. I've requested this in Markdown just to make it a little bit quicker to return that information to me. So again, providing very specific feedback based on the calls and some advice that I could then take, copy paste into an email, edit it as I wish, and give that to Lily. So the quick guide to Voipstudio's MCP with Claude AI. There's lots more you can do. We hope you enjoy using this new integration, and don't forget to give us a follow across LinkedIn, YouTube, and all our social media channels.